Hey guys, tonight we crawl down into the kind of place you only see in half-forgotten Cold War documentaries and nightmare-fuel YouTube clips. Yeah, a bunker, stale air, dripping water, shadows already waiting, and you're the unlucky soul I'm dragging along. You probably won't survive this, but at least you'll have company while everything falls apart. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. But only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop a comment with your location and what time it is for you right now, because I need to know who's listening in the dark. Now, dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. You shuffle down the metal stairs, one hand sliding along the rail, the other clutching a rusty oil lamp. The thing flickers like it's fighting you, as if it would rather sputter out than illuminate whatever waits below. The air grows cooler, denser. Your breath fogs faintly, though this isn't supposed to be the sort of place where your breath should show at all. The stairs groan underfoot, metal joints bending just a little too much, and you wonder if anyone's tightened the bolts since the shelter was sealed decades ago. Probably not. The bunker isn't new. You can taste age in the air, dust, mildew, the faint memory of meals cooked by people who never left. The concrete walls sweat with moisture, but not the kind that refreshes. Every droplet feels heavy, as though it carries something that isn't water. Your lamp light ripples across a jagged wall corner, duct-taped over with a ratty blanket, edges curling like old scabs. The cloth stirs though there's no draft, no fan. It flutters just once, then lies still again, and you tell yourself you imagined it. The smell hits next. Not rot exactly. Something chemical, metallic, sharp enough to sting your nose. You picture rusting pipes, but when you glance at them, the metal looks wet and dark, far too wet, like it's still bleeding from a wound in the wall. You lean closer, foolishly, and that's when you hear it, the drip. The first one strikes metal, echoing like a bell. Then another, softer, splattering into something that must be wood. You lift your lamp higher, tracing the sound like a hunter tracks prey, until the light slides across an old table. There it sits, a small, glistening pool, blacker than ink, reflecting your face in grotesque distortion. You blink, and the reflection lingers a moment too long after you look away. The bunker groans above you, and the ceiling pulses faintly where the liquid leaks down. Not cracks, not holes, just the concrete sagging like flesh. The historian in you remembers reading about real bunkers built in the 1950s, sealed chambers meant to protect families from fallout. Some of those shelters were buried so deep that when water finally found its way in, it didn't trickle, it surged. Entire underground rooms flooded, trapping people who thought they'd be safe. Historians still debate whether the famous Cheyenne Mountain complex could truly withstand centuries underground, or if its own weight will one day crush it like any other tomb. The thought gnaws at you. This bunker, your bunker, feels far less secure. You set your lamp down, though the flame wavers, casting shadows like fingers crawling up the walls. Each shadow bends toward you, stretching longer, as though the darkness is curious about what sort of meat you are. You force a smile at yourself, muttering some sarcastic nonsense, like you're recording this for an audience. But there's no upload button here, only walls. Behind you, something stirs. A faint scrape, claws on metal. You spin, lamp raised, but find only a cat, sleek, black, eyes reflecting your flame like twin coins of molten gold. It licks its paw, unconcerned, tail flicking with the casual rhythm of an executioner sharpening his blade. The creature mews once, soft, like it's greeting you by name, though you've never spoken it aloud down here. The cat darts into a vent, disappearing in silence. You're left alone with the drip. You place a glass under it, an old habit, as though catching the liquid might make it less ominous. The pool grows quickly, unnaturally fast, until the cup nearly brims. You mutter again, scolding yourself for caring about water rings on a table when there's something far stranger happening. You dump the contents into the sink, only to notice the liquid isn't clear. It's not water at all. It stains the porcelain like ink, clinging even after you scrub. You wipe your sleeve, smear more across your skin, and smell it, faintly sweet, faintly rotten, something like old fruit soaked in iron. The hairs on your arms rise. You glance upward toward the ceiling, and the drip waits, swelling, trembling, then falls again with a perfect, patient rhythm. The silence stretches. You find yourself listening too hard, like a child in bed straining for the creak of a monster's footstep. Every bunker has its sounds. The hum of a fan, the rattle of pipes, the shifting groan of earth pressing down. But this silence is wrong, sculpted, deliberate. And then, in that silence, you remember a strange fact you once read about the Paris catacombs. Bones stacked for miles, skulls staring forever. People got lost down there, wandering too deep, never finding the exit. Some explorers claim to hear dripping when no water existed, as though the dead themselves were leaking into the world. Quirky folklore, maybe. But standing here, with your own phantom drip echoing louder and louder, it doesn't feel like a joke. Your lamp flickers. Once, twice. You clutch it tight, whispering through clenched teeth. The shadows on the wall shiver, ripple, then reach a little closer. And the drip doesn't stop. The cat's eyes are the first thing you see when the lamp steadies. 2 coins of gold gleaming from the vent's narrow slit. They linger, unblinking, as though measuring you. You breathe out, almost relieved, but the air feels heavy. Like exhaled breath doesn't leave the room. It just hovers, waiting for the next inhale. The cat flicks its ear, then vanishes deeper into the ducts, claws scratching faintly on sheet metal. You follow the sound a few steps before stopping. The vent opening is small, barely wide enough for the animal to slide through. You crouch, lamp low, peering into the darkness, but the glow only reaches a few inches before drowning. The duct hums faintly, air moving in a way that suggests a fan still spins somewhere deeper in the bunker, but the hum has an irregular beat, like a slow heartbeat rather than machinery. You blink, shake your head, mutter again in your faux host tone. Don't worry, folks. It's just the ventilation system gasping for attention. The joke feels cheap, forced, and even you don't laugh. The drip behind you continues. You try to ignore it, but your ears split their loyalty. One tuned to the steady plop of black liquid on wood, the other tracing the faint scurrying of claws that shouldn't echo this far. The cat is everywhere at once, as though it has more than one body, more than one set of feet. You wander deeper into the bunker, lamp sweeping across relics of domestic life, an old chair slumped in the corner, cushions sunken like someone sat there for years and never rose again. A knitted throw still draped across its arm, patterned with little tulips that have faded into indistinguishable shapes. You brush the fabric with your free hand. It's damp. Everything here is damp. You imagine the cat curling up there once, licking itself with the patience of an undertaker. There's a scratching sound behind you. Quick, sharp, deliberate. You spin. Nothing, just the table with the pooling liquid. But when you glance back at the chair, the throw is no longer draped, it's bunched, as if a body shifted underneath. You hold the lamp closer. The seat is empty, of course, but the impression remains, a dent in the cushion, fresh, soft, as if someone has just risen and slipped away while you weren't watching. You murmur to yourself again, audience mode. It's fine. It's just settling fabric. Old furniture does that. Nothing sinister here at all. The shadows disagree. They quiver at the edge of your lamp's reach, huddled shapes pretending to be furniture, but you can tell they're waiting. The scraping resumes. This time it's above you, claws on concrete. You lift the lamp and see the cat, somehow perched on a narrow pipe, yellow eyes fixed downward. Its tail twitches, hypnotic. It doesn't move otherwise, just stares, unblinking, as though daring you to keep going. Your mind drifts, uninvited, toward a strange historical fact you once read. Sailors on 18th century ships believed cats could control storms. They'd watch their ship's cat, and if it started acting strangely, tail twitching, eyes wide, they'd swear a squall was coming. Historians still debate whether that belief was pure superstition, or if cats, sensitive to air pressure, genuinely predicted the weather. The idea of a creature knowing something before humans do sticks to your thoughts now. This cat isn't predicting storms. It's announcing something far worse. The lamp flame sputters as you move forward, illuminating another vent grate. This one is larger, low to the floor, wide enough for you to press your head against. A foul smell seeps from it, sour, earthy, tinged with rot. The cat appears again, different vent, same stare. Its body seems too long in the shadows, stretching farther than should be possible, as if the vent is a tunnel leading not through the walls, but through time itself. You whisper, What do you want? The words sound foreign, as if someone else's voice passed through your lips. The cat blinks, slow, deliberate, then turns away. Its tail flicks once more, vanishing into black. The bunker exhales, not metaphorically. You hear it, a drawn-out sigh, low and wet, rolling through the ducts. The walls shiver. Dust sprinkles down. The drip falters for a moment, then resumes louder, faster, impatient. You back toward the table again. Because as much as you hate the drip, at least it's familiar now. You're halfway there when you see the glass you left is full again, already. Overflowing, in fact, liquid streaking across the table, soaking into the floor. It makes no sense. The math doesn't check out. You emptied it minutes ago. Unless time moves differently down here. You wipe the edge of the glass with your sleeve. The stain doesn't come off. Your skin tingles where the black touches it. Faint pins and needles dancing beneath the flesh. The cat reappears, this time sitting silently in the middle of the room. No vent, no sound of claws, just there, watching. Your heart hammers. You try one more joke, whispering, "Hey guys, if the cat starts talking, we're officially out of here, right?" But you know there's nowhere to run. The bunker swallows laughter as easily as it swallows screams. The lamp sputters again, flame shrinking thin. You shake it. The cat tilts its head, finally blinks, then pads forward one step. Its paws make no sound on the concrete. You swear its shadow lags behind it, delayed, moving on its own rhythm. And then the drip stops. Silence. Heavy, unnatural silence. The kind of silence that makes your ears ache. You grip the lamp so tightly your knuckles crack. The cat sits, tail curling neatly around its body, eyes locked on yours. It purrs soft, deep, vibrating through the floor itself. The sound is almost soothing, almost enough to drown the silence. Almost. The drip begins again, but not from the same spot. You turn slowly, lamp trembling in your grip, and see a new stain forming on the ceiling. It bulges outward, concrete swelling, as though something beneath the surface is breathing. A fresh drop slides down, thick, black, oily, falling straight onto the table you pushed aside earlier. The sound plop is louder than it should be, as though the liquid wants your attention. You edge closer. The first stain has spread into a ragged patch, dark veins threading outward across the ceiling. They pulse faintly with each drip, like capillaries in some inverted organ. Your stomach twists at the sight. The concrete isn't just wet, it's alive. The glass you placed before lies knocked on its side, though you never touched it. Black residue stains the wood, the same color as the new drip. You lift the lamp higher. The liquid reflects your face again, but this time the reflection doesn't match. It's smiling when you're not. Your throat tightens. You mutter to yourself, "Don't look too long. Don't play along. It's just a trick of the light," but the reflection lingers, and the longer you stare, the wider its grin grows, teeth sharper, eyes darker. You back away, bumping into the duct-taped blanket hanging over the wall's jagged corner. It shifts against your shoulder. You freeze. The cloth isn't just moving, it's pulsing too, keeping rhythm with the ceiling veins. The thought slides cold into your head. Maybe the whole bunker has a heartbeat. The cat's claws click faintly in the vent again when you glance over. Its eyes gleam from the shadows. It doesn't move, just watches you struggle with the fact that the ceiling is dripping something that should not exist. You try to reason with yourself. Underground water tables, condensation, mold, logical explanations. But the lamp light betrays you. It shows the truth. This isn't water or mold or anything natural. The liquid gleams with a faint shimmer, as though it carries reflections of places not in this world. You glimpse flashes, forest branches, a hallway lined with doors, a woman crying into her hands. They flicker within the drip itself, gone before you can breathe them in. You whisper, "What are you?" And the ceiling answers with another drop. It splashes onto your sleeve, staining the fabric with ink-dark blotches that spread like wildfire. You rip the sleeve against the table edge, desperate to scrape it off. The stain smears, but it doesn't fade. A memory intrudes, one you never wanted. Years ago, you read about the 1665 plague in London, how black spots bloomed on skin as a death sentence. Historians still debate whether the plague's cause was truly fleas from rats or something more mysterious, carried through air or water. Standing here, staring at your stained arm, you understand the terror of those spots in a way you never did from books. The lamp sputters. You hold it higher, but its light seems afraid to reach the ceiling. Shadows fold inward like petals of a dark flower. The veins pulse again, faster, as if reacting to your fear. The drip becomes a steady stream. The cat emerges silently from the vent, not scurrying, not pouncing. It simply appears, walking into the room like it has always belonged. Its fur glistens in the lamplight, black blending with black. It sits at the table, tail curling neatly, and looks up at the leaking ceiling. Then it looks back at you. Its eyes narrow, not in anger, but in something worse. Recognition. You whisper another joke to keep from breaking. Guess this is the part where the ceiling cries on me, right? But your voice trembles. The bunker swallows the humor, spits back silence. Another drop falls, this one striking the cat directly on its head. The animal doesn't flinch, doesn't blink. The liquid slides down between its eyes, drips off its nose, and the cat calmly licks it away. The sound of its tongue on fur is wet, obscene. Your stomach churns. You back away, nearly tripping on the chair you touched earlier. Its cushioned dent looks deeper now, as though someone heavier has just sat down. The throw blanket has slipped further, nearly onto the floor. You catch a glimpse beneath it, something pale, thin, twitching like a finger withdrawing. You look away too quickly, telling yourself it's just fabric folds. The ceiling groans. A fissure spiders outward from the drip, cracking concrete, dust raining down. The lamp's flame wavers, scattering sparks against the glass. For one horrific instant, you think the ceiling will burst open, unleashing a torrent of black. But it doesn't. It holds, just barely. The cat leaps onto the table, paw landing in the black pool. It drags its paw slowly across the wood, smearing symbols you don't recognize. Shapes older than letters, circles intersecting lines, like the doodles of a mad child, or the blueprint of something colossal. The symbols glisten, then sink into the wood, disappearing entirely. You stumble back, lamp shaking, sweat cold on your neck. You want to run, but the bunker offers no exit. Only walls, only shadows, only the sound of the drip growing louder, steadier, endless. And when you glance at the reflection in the pool again, you no longer see yourself. You see the cat, smiling. The table looks wrong now, wrong in a way you can't fix by moving it, wiping it, or pretending. The wood should be just wood, scarred with knife marks, stains of meals long gone, the simple history of domestic life. But instead, it's a stage where cups appear when you don't place them, bowls fill when you're not watching. There's one now, dead center, a plain glass brimming with liquid. You swear you left it upside down in the sink, rinsed clean of the black sludge. But here it is, upright, heavy, condensation sweating down its sides. Only it's not cold water, no. It looks more like cola, fizzing faintly, bubbles rising though you can hear no hiss. You step closer, lamp shaking in your hand, and the bubbles stop the instant you lean in. You whisper, "Who put this here?" But your voice doesn't echo. It's absorbed, as if the bunker itself swallows your words. The cat sits nearby, licking its paw, tail curling, perfectly indifferent when you reach for the glass. It mews once, short, sharp, like a warning. Your hand hesitates midair. The lamp flame throws your shadow across the table, and for a moment, you think your shadow hand is still reaching even though you've pulled back. You decide not to touch the glass. Instead, you pick up the lamp and lean close enough to see your reflection on the liquid's surface. It doesn't look like you anymore. The eyes are darker, pupils wide, as if drowned in ink. The mouth twitches upward, smiling again, though you are not. You back away quickly, and your hip brushes the duct-taped blanket corner. The blanket flutters, like a breath against your skin. You want to rip it down, to see what lies beneath the wall. But the thought feels dangerous, like peeling skin from a wound. A sound startles you, a faint plop. Another glass. You whip around, and now there are two. Identical, both full, both beating moisture. You swear you didn't blink long enough for this to happen. You remember something odd, a bit of folklore about doppelgangers. Old German superstition said if you saw your double, it was a death omen. Historians still debate whether those stories came from actual sightings or just tricks of dim light, tired eyes. But here, in this bunker, you feel the weight of those myths pressing down. Two glasses where there should be one. Maybe tomorrow there will be three, then four, until the whole table is covered with duplicates of things you didn't place. cat jumps up, tail flicking, paws soundless on the wood. It sniffs the glasses, then bats one lightly with its paw. The liquid trembles, but doesn't spill. The surface ripples outward in perfect concentric circles, as though stirred from within rather than disturbed from without. You lean closer, morbid curiosity clawing at you, and swear you hear something whispering beneath the fizz. Not words, not yet, just syllables trying to be born. The lamp flame sputters. Shadows lengthen, stretch across the floor, climb your legs. You shuffle backward until your calves hit the chair. The cushioned dent is deeper now. No longer just a shape, but an impression. A weight you can feel pressing against the air. Something invisible sits there, watching the table, watching you. The glasses multiply again. Now 3. You blink, rub your eyes, look again. 4. Each brim full, condensation dripping to the wood. You're dizzy. Your head buzzing like bees are building hives inside your skull. The smell rises, sweet, metallic, familiar, like fruit left in the sun too long, fermenting. You think about how bunkers like this one were meant to preserve sanity, to keep families together in crisis. But confinement bends the mind. There's an account you once read, families in fallout shelters during the Cuban Missile Crisis, stocking canned beans and tuna, playing board games to pass time. Some said they felt safer underground. Others admitted to hallucinations. After only days without sunlight, the experts argue still. Did the claustrophobia cause those visions? Or were they glimpses into something else seeping through concrete? The cat licks its paw again, then stares at you, slow blink, as if it knows the answer. The glasses clink softly, though none of them have touched. The sound is like a toast, a cheerless celebration. You whisper, weakly this time, don't drink it. But the chair behind you creaks, as though someone seated leans forward, interested. You turn sharply. Empty, of course. Empty but dented, hollow but full. You clutch the lamp tighter, flame jittering wildly. When you glance back at the table, the glasses are gone. Every single one. The wood is dry. No stain, no moisture, no evidence. Just a clean, bare surface. The cat yawns, as though nothing happened. And the drip from the ceiling begins again. You descend deeper, lamp held low, careful with each step as the air grows heavier, damper, more insistent. The smell shifts here. Less metallic, more earthy dirt, rot, and something sweet underneath, like overripe fruit buried too long. You know this scent. Soil that's been disturbed. Soil that's been asked to hold more than roots. At the bottom level, the concrete floor gives way to a corner of soft earth. The patch is darker than the rest, edges uneven where a shovel once bit in. The lamp quivers in your hand, and for a moment you imagine the dirt itself is breathing, rising and falling like a chest beneath a blanket. You whisper to yourself, like you're talking to an audience. So yeah, folks, this is where the good times really start, the dirt patch. The classic basement graveyard accessory. The sarcasm is thin, almost transparent, because you already know the truth. that patch is not just dirt. The cat appears before you notice it moving. One moment you're alone, the next it's there, sitting at the dirt's edge, eyes golden coins reflecting the flame. It doesn't meow, doesn't blink, just waits. Your stomach twists with memory. This was supposed to be a way out once Michael, with his length of pipe, hammering at concrete, planning to dig through the hillside. Futile, laughable even, but the earth here was disturbed more than once. You know that, because something else is down there. You crouch, lamp held close to the soil. The dirt looks freshly turned, though you haven't touched it in years. It's loose, friable, like someone has been digging from below. You press your fingers into it, just lightly, and the ground gives too easily. The smell sharpens rot, sour, and human. You snatch your hand back, soil clinging to your skin like wet ash. The drip from above follows you even here, faint but constant. You glance up, half expecting to see the ceiling sweating its black liquid down the stairwell. But no, the sound is in the soil now, muffled, like something beneath the earth is weeping into it. A story rises unbidden in your mind. The infamous Bell Witch legend of Tennessee, a farm plagued by strange drips of liquid on the walls, voices whispering through the night. Some historians insist it was mass hysteria. Others argue it was poltergeist activity. They still debate whether John Bell truly died from the witch's poison, or from something far more human. The drip in the dirt before you feels like it belongs to that same unresolved argument. The cat digs suddenly, one swift paw strike, soil scattering. It doesn't pause. Claws flash, dirt piles up. Your lamp trembles in your hand, flame guttering as you watch the hole widen. You try to stop it. No, don't you dare. But the cat ignores you. It digs with a steady rhythm, patient as a priest unearthing relics. Something pale gleams beneath the surface. Not bone, not quite. The shape is small, fragile, curved. You lean in, horrified, and realize it's a child's shoe. Scuffed leather still intact, though the laces are blackened with rot. Your chest constricts. You stumble back, almost dropping the lamp. The soil shifts again. A whisper rises with it. A girl's voice. High, faint, warped as though carried through water. I'm still here. The cat stops digging, sits neatly, tail curled. It looks at you as if waiting for your reaction. The dirt heaves once, bulges upward, then stills. You swear you see fingers pressing against it from below, but they fade before you can scream. The whisper fades too, replaced by silence so thick it feels like cotton stuffed in your ears. You choke out another line for your imaginary audience, shaky and bitter. So yeah, you probably shouldn't play in the dirt down here, not unless you want to find something you can't put back. The cat yawns, slow and deliberate, exposing sharp teeth. Its tongue flicks over them lazily, as though it's tasted this before. The duct-taped blanket waits for you at the turn of the corridor. You've brushed it with your hip before, but tonight it seems to lean outward, as though expecting you. The tape has yellowed, curling up at the corners, yet it holds on with a stubbornness that feels unnatural, like skin that refuses to peel. You stop in front of it, lamp held high. The light shivers across the fabric. For a moment, it looks like just a blanket, an old floral pattern dulled with dust. Then it moves, not like cloth shifting in a draft. This movement is subtler, as though something beneath it flexed, like a lung rising under a ribcage. You whisper to your invisible audience, "Well, here's a home Dacre tip. Duct tape and a blanket don't make a wall. They make this." Your laugh is thin, splintered. The sound dies before it reaches the end of the hallway. The cat arrives quietly, tail brushing the floor. It sits across from the blanket, head tilted, eyes unblinking. You take that as a warning, or maybe permission, hard to tell anymore. You kneel and press your ear to the wall beside the taped cloth. The concrete is cold, damp, but it hums faintly. Not electricity, not pipes, more like a voice far away, carried on stone. You close your eyes, words almost form. Almost, but not enough. The blanket stirs again, brushing against your face. Your skin prickles. You jerk back, lamp wobbling, flame stretching. The tape creaks, just a little, like it might give way. Memory intrudes. Clara, the little girl who once ran laughing through this bunker, scraped her arm on that sharp edge years ago. You remember the cut, the infection, the fever that followed. You remember duct taping the blanket, here to stop it happening again. But you also remember her crying that night, saying the corner whispered her name. You laughed it off. Now the blanket whispers your name. A drop lands on your shoulder. You flinch, thinking it's the ceiling drip again. But no, this liquid is warmer. You wipe it away, fingers sticky, and raise them to the lamp. They glisten red. The cat's ears twitch. It hisses softly, not at you, but at the blanket. The sound echoes, harsh in the silence. Your heart races. You recall another unsettling scrap of history. The Winchester mystery, house in California, where stairs lead nowhere and walls hide secret passages. Sarah Winchester claimed the design trapped spirits of those killed by her family's rifles. Historians still debate whether she was mad or truly haunted. This taped-over corner feels the same. A door sealed not for repair, but for containment. The tape twitches again. One corner lifts, sticky adhesive peeling back with a slow, nauseating rip. You press your palm flat against it, desperate, holding it down. The fabric beneath is warm, too warm, like a body fevering under a sheet. Something presses back. A hand, a face. You can't tell. Just the undeniable push of something that wants out. You mutter for your phantom audience. This isn't DIY. This is DOA. Your voice cracks on the last word. The pressure increases. The tape strains, stretching, threads of adhesive stringing in the lamplight. You imagine it snapping all at once, the blanket flying back, the wall giving birth to whatever pulses behind. You slam your shoulder into it, pinning it down, teeth gritted. The fabric vibrates, a hum crawling into your bones. The cat leaps suddenly, claws extended, latching onto the blanket. It shreds downward in one clean stroke. For a heartbeat, you glimpse what lies beneath. Not stone, not pipes, a wet surface glistening alive. It ripples like muscle, black veins pulsing, a single eye half formed and watching. You scream without sound. The lamp flares, nearly going out. By the time you blink, the cat has leapt back, tail bristling. The blanket hangs limp again, torn but concealing. You press the lamp close. The surface looks ordinary now, just stained concrete. The eye is gone. The hum is gone. You tell yourself it was illusion, stress, madness. You don't believe it. The cat licks its paw calmly, as though nothing happened. Its golden eyes glimmer, saying otherwise, and behind the blanket, something exhales, slow, steady, patient. You've stopped pretending to know what day it is. The analog clock on the wall has been frozen at 2:15 for what? Weeks, months, years. The second hand twitches occasionally, like a muscle spasm, but it never moves forward. It only reminds you that time has abandoned this place. You shuffle past the table, the chair, the taped corner, the soft soil patch, all of it blurring together. You've circled the bunker so many times, it feels like you're walking loops in your own skull. The lamp flame doesn't burn lower, doesn't burn higher. It just wavers, as if waiting for permission to die. You tell your phantom audience. So, good news. You don't need a calendar down here. Bad news. You also don't have a calendar down here. You force a chuckle, but it collapses halfway. Memories blur with the walls. You try to recall your last meal. Was it beans, rice, a sandwich from a picnic years ago? You taste strawberries for a second, the sweet tang, and then realize you haven't seen fruit in decades. Your brain is eating itself, filling in gaps with flavors you'll never touch again. The cat prowls nearby, tail twitching, always silent. You've begun to wonder if it's actually one cat or many. It appears from different vents, corners, stairwells, as though each shadow holds a separate body. Sometimes you call it by a name, Poppy, Maxine, Clara, but the cat never responds. It doesn't need to. You glance at the clock again. Still 2:15. You whisper, move. The hand trembles but stays. You whisper louder, move. This time the second hand jerks back, not forward. A twitch into the past. Your chest tightens. Time isn't stalled, it's coiling backward. The drip from the ceiling punctuates the silence. Plop, plop. You check the glass you left. Full again, always full. You dump it in the sink, turn back, and there it is on the table once more. You stopped questioning when this cycle began. Now you just live inside it. You remember a historical fragment Japanese soldiers discovered after World War II. Decades later, still hiding in bunkers, convinced the war hadn't ended. Some had forgotten their own names, living by routines long after time had abandoned them. Historians still debate whether their minds bent from loyalty, trauma, the bunker itself. You think about that now, about being discovered decades from now. A husk whispering to shadows, still waiting for a day that will never come. The cat brushes against your leg, soft fur grounding you for a moment. You reach down to touch it, desperate for contact. Your fingers pass through. Cold air, nothing more. The cat sits 3 feet away, watching, eyes bright. You blink. Another cat sits beside it. Identical. Same eyes, same fur. Then another perched on the table. All silent, all staring. You count them 5. No, 6. You rub your eyes. When you open them, only one remains. You mutter, "This is fine. It's just the bunker cloning cats now." That's totally normal. The chair creaks. You glance at it, heart hammering. The cushion dent is gone, perfectly smooth, as if no one ever sat there. But you know someone did. You remember the weight, the whisper, the breath on your neck. The duct-taped blanket corner stirs again. A ripple passes through the fabric, traveling top to bottom like a shiver. You grip the lamp tighter, refusing to look too close. You shuffle to the bathroom, hoping water might anchor you. The pipes rattle as you turn the faucet. Rust-red liquid spills out, thick, metallic. You wash your hands anyway, scrubbing at stains that don't fade. The cat appears in the doorway, tail swishing. It mews once, sharp, then vanishes again. You stare at the mirror above the sink. Your face looks wrong. The eyes too wide, the smile faint and uninvited. You remember the reflection in the drip, how it grinned when you didn't. Now the mirror does the same. Your lamp sputters. Shadows crawl over your reflection, swallowing half your face. The other half keeps smiling. You back away slowly, breath catching in your throat. The clock still reads 2:15, and for the first time, you hear it tick backward. You press your palm to the bunker's steel door. Cold, always cold. Once, long ago, it meant safety. Now it feels like a coffin lid, a barrier that keeps the world out, or keeps you in. The metal hums faintly, like it remembers the sirens that drove you here in the first place. You whisper to your unseen listeners, history lesson, folks, civil defense wasn't glamorous. Families were told to build these holes in the ground and stock beans, rice, candles, and pray the world didn't end. The crazy part, they actually did it. Your voice falters because you remember you did it too. Or someone did before your memory became patchwork. The door doesn't budge, hasn't for years. You jiggle the latch anyway, a ritual act. Each time, you hope it might groan open, spilling sunlight across the concrete. Each time, the door only stares back, silent and unmoving. The cat slinks past your legs, tail brushing your calf, eyes fixed on the door. It sits before it like a sentinel, head cocked, as if listening. You crouch, press your ear too. Nothing at first, then faint, so faint. Knocks, 3, slow, patient, spaced. Your heart seizes. You press harder, nothing more, just the sound of your own blood pounding. You glance at the cat. It's already walking away, tail flicking, uninterested. You wonder if you imagined it. A memory invades 1958, the Greenbrier Bunker in West Virginia, built to house Congress during nuclear war. Vast halls, stocked with cots and food, sealed from the world for decades until revealed. Historians still debate whether, if the bombs had fallen, the officials would have been safe or trapped. Safety and entombment look the same underground. You think about that every time you face this door. You return to the main chamber. The drip greets you immediately. Plop, plop. A rhythm too steady to be random. You've begun counting time by it. Forget clocks. Forget calendars. Each drip is a tick backward, erasing more of what you once knew. On the table sits a bowl. You didn't place it there. Inside, black liquid ripples though no drop falls. It sloshes slightly, as if stirred from beneath. You back away, whispering, not touching that one. Nope. The chair creaks. You look over. This time someone is sitting there. Not clear, not solid, but outlined, a shimmer like heat waves in summer air, shoulders hunched, head bowed, hands clasped. You blink, and the outline vanishes, leaving the cushion dent deeper than ever. The blanket corner stirs again, louder this time. A ripping sound, faint but undeniable. The cat hisses from across the room, fur raised, then darts back into the vent. It doesn't return. The air feels heavier. Breathing is work now. Each inhale drags grit into your chest. You cough, lamp quivering. Dust falls from the ceiling. But it isn't gray. It's black, powdery, bitter. It coats your tongue when you gasp. A fact you once read claws at your memory. In 79 AD, when Vesuvius erupted, people in Pompeii didn't just burn. Some suffocated first, lungs filled with ash, mouths frozen mid-breath. Historians still debate if they died instantly or suffered seconds of agony. You feel that debate in your chest now, each breath a fight. You stagger toward the stairs, hoping higher air feels cleaner. The lamp sputters, throwing shadows that stretch, bend, elongate like figures reaching for you. Each one bends differently, though you stand still. One leans forward, another crouches, a third raises its hand. You whisper, "Stop that, you're not me." The drip quickens. Faster, faster, like a heartbeat sprinting. The ceiling bulges again, veins dark and wet. The chair groans once more, the door hums. All the bunker's pieces moving at once, in sync, like a machine waking. And through it all, faint but clear, comes singing. Voices distant, echoing down the corridor. Not one voice. A chorus, low, steady, tuneless, as if chanting more than singing. Words you can't make out, syllables stretched thin. You clutch the lamp tight, whispering to the dark. Tell me you hear that too. But the only answer is the chorus growing louder. The song follows you, clinging to the air like smoke. You freeze in the corridor, lamp trembling, straining to catch the words. They're not words, though, just tones, layered and low, like voices humming through water. At first you think it's memory, holiday carols echoing faintly from years ago. But no, This sound is alive now, vibrating against your chest. You turn back toward the main chamber. The chair waits there, cushion dent deepened, the blanket corner stirring faintly. The cat crouches on the table, tail swishing, ears pricked. It hears the song too, though it doesn't seem afraid. If anything, it looks patient. You whisper for your invisible audience. Okay, folks, I promised you a bedtime story, but I didn't promise it would come with a live choir in my basement. Your laugh is brittle. The bunker doesn't laugh back. The voices swell, filling the concrete space. They sound closer now, as though coming from the vents. You glance up, yes. The ducts tremble faintly, dust sprinkling down. You imagine mouths pressed to the grates, singing through, lips wet, whispering not for joy, but for summons. You grip the lamp tighter, backing against the wall. Your mind betrays you with memory. Clara, bright-eyed, once giggling as she climbed through those vents, calling your name. You can almost see her small hands gripping the grates, only now, when you picture her face, it's hollowed, eyes dark, mouth stretched wide in a soundless song. The voices weave through memory until you can't tell past from present. Were there carols once? A Thanksgiving meal? Laughter? Or was it always just this? An endless chorus echoing in the dark. You recall a strange tidbit. The Taos hum, that unexplained low-frequency noise reported in New Mexico during the 1990s. People claimed to hear it constantly, though recordings rarely caught it. Some said it was geological. Others blamed government experiments. Historians still debate whether it was real or mass hysteria. That hum is what the bunker feels like now, a sound only you and the shadows acknowledge. The chair creaks again, slowly, as though someone shifts their weight. You turn, heart pounding, and for the briefest instant, you see them. Shapes, a family, familiar silhouettes around the table. Michael, Clara, maybe Wesley. Fuzzy, indistinct, but there. Their mouths open, singing. You blink. Gone. The dent remains. The drip continues. The song changes pitch, higher now, almost shrill, vibrating the duct-taped blanket. The tape peels another inch with a slow, sticky rip. You slap your hand against it, instinctively. Warmth pulses beneath, like a heartbeat eager to join the chorus. The cat mews sharply, breaking the rhythm. The song stutters, falters for just a second. You gasp, chest aching, as if you'd been holding your breath without realizing. The cat's tail lashes, a whip crack in the silence. The voices retreat slightly, though not far. You stagger back, whispering, not real. None of this is real, but you know it is. Too real. Your lamp sputters. The flame stretches tall, throwing light up to the ceiling. The veins bulge darker, pulsing in time with the song. Another drop falls, striking your cheek. You wipe it away, hand trembling, and smell it, sweet, rotten, metallic, like something both alive and dead. You whisper again, more desperate. If this is family night, count me out. The shadows don't laugh. They lean closer. The cat leaps down, paws silent, and pads toward the vent. It peers in, tail swishing, then slips inside without a sound. You follow, crouching, lamp angled toward the grate. Darkness yawns beyond. The song fades there, echoing down unseen tunnels, calling the cat deeper. The air shifts colder, thicker. You step back. Your lamp flickers once, twice, then steadies, but the voices never stop. They weave through your skull, familiar yet wrong, a lullaby turned grotesque. And then, just for a moment, they form words. A single phrase, layered, whispered, sung. We are not gone. The bunker swallows the echo, leaving only the drip. The smell comes first. A reek so sour it claws down your throat, metallic, rotten, damp, like something long dead trapped in a jar and shaken loose. You gag, cover your mouth with your sleeve, but the stench pushes through, heavier with every breath. The pipes rattle in the walls. At first you think it's water pressure, some mundane failure, but the sound doesn't match plumbing. It's too irregular, too alive. A hiss, a groan, a throb. You hold the lamp close to one of the vents. The slats glisten, wet, as though sweating oil. The cat crouches beside you, fur bristling, ears flat. It hisses into the grate. The sound echoes back, not as a hiss, but as a wheeze, rasping like lungs straining. You step back, lamp quivering. You whisper for your ghost audience. And this, friends, is why you don't trust ventilation. Ever. You think it's carrying air. Sometimes it's carrying whatever this is. A drip echoes from inside the duct, different from the ceiling drip. Hollow, distant, accompanied by a low groan. The fan whirs faintly, but its rhythm is broken, stuttering like a dying heart. You crawl closer despite yourself, pressing your ear to the vent. A hum vibrates against your skull. At first, it sounds mechanical, but then it shifts, whispers thread through it. Words. No, not quite. Breathing shaped into syllables. You pull back sharply, nearly dropping the lamp. The cat darts into the vent, vanishing instantly. Claws scrape metal, then silence. You crouch low, call softly, come back. Your voice vanishes into the ducts, absorbed. No sound returns. You stand quickly, pacing. The stench follows. It oozes through every grate, seeping into the room until you can taste it, iron mildew, and something sweet, cloying. You wipe your tongue on your sleeve, gagging. Your memory betrays you again. Once, years ago, Michael found a nest of mice in the vents, their corpses reeking. He pulled them out, grimaced, burned them. That smell is here now, only magnified, amplified, as though the mice multiplied endlessly and rotted together. You remember a scholarly debate whether the Black Death was spread more by fleas or by contaminated air. The dreaded miasma, people in the 14th century stuffed herbs in masks, thinking they could filter poison air. Historians still debate if they were wrong, or only partly wrong, because sometimes air itself does carry death, and here in this bunker, the vents breathe miasma into your lungs. The lamp sputters, nearly dying. You shake it, begging under your breath. The shadows lurch. The duct-taped blanket flutters. chair groans, all of it moving at once, responding to the stench. The pipes clang suddenly, a metallic shriek that rattles your teeth. Black water spurts from a valve near the floor, splattering your shoes. You stumble back. The liquid crawls toward you, thick and slow, spreading in tendrils. The cat bursts from another vent, soaked, fur clumped, eyes glowing brighter than ever. It shakes itself violently, spraying drops that hiss when they hit the floor. The smell intensifies. The cat mews, sharp, furious, not at you, but at the walls themselves. You back toward the stairwell, lamp raised. Shadows curl up the steps, following you, licking at your ankles. The drip above grows faster, matching the pipe's groans. Everything pulses together, sealing veins, chair creak, pipe rattle. The bunker isn't just alive, it's breathing you in. You choke out one last joke, weak, desperate. So yeah, pro tip, don't buy real estate with plumbing included. The silence swallows it whole. The fan above wheezes once more. A gust of air bursts from the vent, slamming into you. It stinks of rot, sweet and foul, hot as breath. The lamp flame shivers, bending sideways. And then you hear it, not whispers this time. Laughter. Children's laughter, bright and hollow, carried through the ducts. It echoes in your chest like memory made flesh. You collapse against the wall, lamp clutched tight, ears ringing. And the laughter doesn't stop. The laughter doesn't fade. It reshapes, warps, folds back on itself until it becomes something else entirely. Singing. Clearer now, closer, not the humming tones you heard before, but something recognizable, an old tune. Carols, you know the song, or at least you think you do. The words wobble, slurred, like a record spinning too slow. Silent night, but not quite. The vowels stretch, unraveling into something longer, older. Your stomach knots, because it was real once, Christmas in the bunker. Voices raised against the dark. Clara convincing Michael to sing even though he hated it. Laughter after the chorus. Warm light from the oil lamp. That was years ago. Decades. Now the same tune echoes through the ducts. Only no laughter follows. Just the scrape of voices dragging syllables into eternity. You whisper to your phantom audience. You know what's worse than hearing Silent Night in July? Hearing it underground, sung by shadows that forgot what words mean. The lamp flame jumps, startled by a sudden draft. The duct-taped blanket ripples, tape peeling another inch with a sticky whine. The singing swells. You back away, clutching the lamp like a shield. The chair is no longer empty. You see them again, shapes. Michael slumped, Clara perched small and bright beside him, Wesley standing tall. All outlines, shimmering, mouths moving with the song. You want to scream, but your throat locks. They look right at you, and their mouths keep moving, stretching too wide, too slow, chewing syllables like meat. The cat leaps onto the table, tail puffed, ears back. It hisses sharp, slicing through the carol. The shapes flicker, vanish. The chair is dented again, deeper than ever. You stagger, whispering, "Not real, not real." But the song lingers, threaded through the air, too thick to ignore. A memory claws up accounts from World War I trenches, soldiers claiming to hear choirs in the dead of night, voices floating above no man's land. Some said it was angels. Others swore it was madness. Historians still debate whether those soldiers hallucinated or touched something otherworldly in the mud. Here, underground, you understand their confusion. Angels and madness look the same when you're starving for sound. The ceiling bulges, veins pulsing in time with the carol. Drops fall faster, striking the table, the floor, your hair. Each plop syncs with the song, percussion in a choir that doesn't breathe. You stumble to the sink, splash water on your face. Rust red streaks down your cheeks. The mirror above warps your reflection, mouth moving though you're silent. It sings too, lips forming words you don't know. You smash the mirror with your sleeve, shards raining into the sink. But the shards still move their mouths. The cat jumps down, pads toward you, rubbing against your leg. For a moment, comfort, then it opens its mouth, and the song continues from there, perfectly pitched. Your breath halts. The cat's eyes widen, gleaming gold, and the melody spills out of its throat. You stumble back, lamp shaking violently, flame whipping against glass. You shout over it, desperate, "Shut up." Your voice cracks, bounces off walls, drowned by the carol. The cat closes its mouth. Silence. You're shaking, breath ragged, ears ringing in the void left behind. But the silence doesn't comfort. It waits, heavy, hungry. The chair creaks once more. A whisper leaks out, soft, layered with echoes. Sing with us. The duct-taped blanket twitches, a pulse hammering beneath it, keeping tempo with the remembered carol, and before you can move, the song begins again. This time, it's in your own voice. The song in your throat fades only when the ceiling groans. A deep, grinding rumble that rattles the lamp glass and showers dust over the table. You lift the flame higher, and the sight nearly buckles your knees. The ceiling is alive. A dark bloom spreads outward from the first fissure, black mold ballooning in wet patches. It pulses like it's breathing, rising and falling in sync with the bunker's stale air. Tendrils reach outward, branching into veins that snake across the concrete. And from the veins ooze droplets, not slow anymore, but steady, urgent, plop, plop, plop. Each drop lands thick and heavy, splattering red-tinged slime across the table. You stumble back, lamp quivering, bile rising in your throat. The smell is overwhelming, sweet rot, like fruit stewing in vinegar. Mixed with something sharper, you whisper shakily for your unseen viewers. You wanted atmosphere. Here's your deluxe package, fungus, slime, and a soundtrack of leaking nightmares. The mold shifts. You swear it moves toward you, stretching across the ceiling like fingers groping. One tendril drips directly onto your sleeve, burning through fabric, sizzling faintly. You rip the cloth away, toss it to the floor. It smolders, smoking faintly in the lamplight. The cat crouches low, hissing, tail thrashing. Its eyes gleam brighter, almost too bright, like coins catching fire. It doesn't move closer, just watches, as if weighing whether you'll survive this round. The wall near the duct-taped blanket ripples. The mold spreads there too, pushing under the fabric, bulging outward. The tape stretches, peels back, sticky strings dangling. You press your palm against it, instinctively. The warmth beneath has grown hotter, feverish, angry. The chair creaks again. This time the dent is deeper than ever, cushions sinking nearly flat. You glance at it, heart racing, and glimpse a pale hand gripping the armrest. Just for a second, gone when you blink. The mold drips faster. A pool forms on the floor, dark and shimmering. Shapes flicker in it, faces, twisted, half-formed. You kneel closer despite yourself, lamp angled down. The faces move their mouths, but no sound emerges. Silence screams. Your chest tightens with memory. Salem witch trials, 1692. Stories of victims convulsing, hallucinating. Some scholars argue it was ergot mold in their bread, toxins twisting minds. Historians still debate whether the girls truly saw spirits or just the poison of rot. Looking at this living ceiling, you think maybe both can be true. The mold bulges suddenly, swelling like a bubble ready to burst. You stumble back, lamp swinging wildly. The cat yowls, sharp, furious. The bubble quivers, then splits. Black-red slime gushes down, splattering across the table, floor, chair. The air fills with the stench of decay, so strong you gag, collapse to your knees. The slime moves, slowly, deliberately, crawling toward you like a tide. You scramble backward, lamp shaking violently. Shadows writhe against the walls, stretching tall, bending over you like spectators at an execution. The cat leaps onto the table, paws landing in the slime. It drags its claws through the mess, carving shapes again, circles intersecting, jagged lines, spirals. The symbols glow faintly, then sink into the wood, disappearing. The slime recoils, pulling back slightly, as though respecting the marks. You whisper, voice broken, "What are you doing?" The cat stares, unblinking, tail flicking once. Then it licks its paw, calmly cleaning away the black residue, as though nothing happened. The mold above shutters, drips falling thicker, faster, covering the floor. The symbols fade, the slime advancing again. The chair groans loudly, splitting fabric. The duct-taped blanket tears another inch. The entire bunker trembles. You clutch the lamp to your chest, eyes wide, and watch as the mold stretches lower, bulging into a shape. A face, half-formed, features warped, but undeniably human. Its mouth opens, and the drip becomes a voice. The ceiling face opens its mouth, and the first drop doesn't fall, it speaks. A wet whisper, sliding down the air like slime. Your knees weaken. The lamp jerks in your hand, flame bouncing against glass. The face's eyes haven't fully formed, just sockets slick with black fluid. But they turn toward you all the same. The slime drips steadily from its chin, pooling on the table. Each drop spreads outward into spirals, lines, and curves that almost look like writing. You lean closer, horrified, because the words are familiar. They spell your name. You whisper back, voice shaking. No, that's not mine. The cat crouches low, ears flat, fur bristling, eyes burning gold. It doesn't hiss this time. Instead, it makes a low sound, almost a growl, almost a purr, a vibration that fills the bunker's silence. The face pulses. Its half-formed lips curl into something between a grin and a snarl. And then, in a rush of slime, it stretches lower, closer, until you feel its breath, damp, sour, hot against your skin. You stumble back, lamp wobbling dangerously. The chair groans as if something sits heavier in it now. You glance over, and for a flicker, the cushioned dent holds a body Michael's face, pale, twisted, eyes hollow. His lips move with the ceiling face in unison. You choke out to your invisible audience. Well, surprise. I've got a double, or maybe two, maybe three. Your laugh is strangled, broken. The slime keeps falling. Faster, more insistent. It splashes your shoes, seeps into cracks in the floor, creeps toward the soil patch below. You step back, retreating, but the face follows, stretching down like a grotesque mask tethered to the ceiling. A flicker of trivia claws at your mind, unwanted. In 1860s Paris, workers discovered black mold covering catacomb walls, feeding on the bodies. Some swore they saw faces form in the fungus, grimacing and whispering. Historians still debate whether it was imagination or truth. But staring up at this glistening grin, you think the debate is already answered. The cat leaps onto the table again, pawing at the slime, clawing lines across the wet letters. The symbols warp, twist, dissolve. The face jerks as though in pain, sockets widening. It screams not loud, but wet, gurgling, a sound that belongs in lungs filled with fluid. You cover your ears. The sound doesn't stop. It vibrates inside your skull, rattling your teeth, making your vision shake. The duct-taped blanket rips wider, adhesive peeling like flesh. Behind it, something moves. Another eye, half-formed, gleams through the gap. A second face, your breath catches. They're not alone. The ceiling isn't sprouting one figure. It's a hive. You stumble, crash against the sink. Shards of broken mirror biting into your arm. Blood mixes with slime on the floor, swirling into black-red rivulets. The faces drip lower, mouths opening wider. You hear your own name repeated again, layered, echoed. The cat mews sharply, almost scolding, before vanishing into the vent. Its eyes linger one heartbeat longer, glowing like lanterns in the dark, then gone. You're alone. The first face lowers enough that its lips nearly brush your ear. The whisper slides in, clear this time. We remember you. Your stomach turns to stone. You shout back, I don't remember you. But the words bounce off walls, hollow, meaningless. The ceiling pulses, bulges, veins throbbing faster. Slime gushes down like rainfall, splattering table, chair, blanket, Shadows leap across the bunker, bending in unnatural angles. And when you look up again, the face has finished forming. It's yours. The face above you, your own face, drips steadily. Its smile wider than you have ever smiled, lips curling back too far, eyes unblinking. You stagger back, lamp shaking violently, but its gaze follows you no matter where you move. The reflection in the black pool had warned you, but seeing it bloom in flesh and slime above your head freezes your chest. The cat returns, silent, sudden. One moment gone, the next perched on the chair arm, tail curled neatly, golden eyes fixed on the ceiling. It sees nothing. That's what breaks you. It doesn't even twitch its ears, doesn't hiss, doesn't acknowledge the dripping twin above. The one companion you trusted ignores the horror entirely, as though the face is meant for you alone. You whisper hoarsely to your phantom audience, and this is where my co-host decides to nope out. Great. Just me and me. The ceiling twin leans lower, lips trembling with words. The voice comes out in a wet croak. Stay. Your knees tremble. The chair groans louder, cushion dent pressed flat under invisible weight. You glance, and in that moment, the dented fabric smooths out completely, like no one ever sat there. The absence is worse than presence. The duct-taped blanket quivers. A pale hand pushes out beneath it, pressing against the cloth, straining. The tape peels another inch with a sickening rip. You press the lamp close, but the light makes it worse. The skin beneath looks waxy, veins black, nails too long. The cat stretches, licks its paw calm. Its indifference gnaws at you. Why can't it see? Or horrible thought, maybe it can, but chooses not to. The slime drips harder. You raise your sleeve to block it, but drops burn through fabric, sizzling against your arm. You yelp, skin tingling, red welts rising. The ceiling twin laughs, not your laugh, but close enough to make your stomach knot. You recall a grim historical footnote. In 19th century asylums, some patients described seeing their doubles, perfect replicas, standing over their beds. Doctors called it autoscopy. Some said it was madness. Others swore it was a sign of death's approach. Historians still debate whether those visions were hallucination or glimpses of the soul already leaving. You feel like an asylum patient now, alone underground with your dripping double. The cat finally mews, soft, high-pitched, almost plaintive. It stares at you, not the ceiling, and blinks slow, deliberate. Its purr begins, low and steady, at first comforting, then louder, vibrating the floor. The twin pauses, head twitching, as though the sound interrupts it. You drop to your knees, gasping. The slime creeps closer, forming shapes on the floor again, circles, intersecting lines, words in languages you don't know. They glow faintly, sinking into the concrete. You scramble back, lamp clutched to your chest. The chair groans again. This time, the cushion dents upward, as though something beneath pushes from below. You stare, horrified, until a wet hand bursts through the fabric, pale and veined, fingers clawing at the air. The cat doesn't flinch. It simply watches. The ceiling twin leans lower, mouth inches from yours. The smell of rot and iron fills your lungs. It whispers, "Join us." You choke out, desperate, "No." The cat meows sharply, loud, piercing. The sound shatters the moment. The twin recoils slightly, face rippling like liquid, mouth twisting in anger. The hand beneath the chair retreats. The blanket corner stills. The purr continues, louder now, shaking the room. The cat's golden eyes glow brighter, staring straight at you. For the first time, you feel like it chooses you, and yet the twin still hangs above, smiling wider, dripping faster. You realize, with hollow certainty, the cat won't save you. It's just here to watch. The ceiling is collapsing in slow motion, veins stretching outward, slime dripping faster. The face above you grinning with unbearable patience, your own features, twisted, exaggerated, mockingly alive. Every drop that hits your skin burns now, not surface deep, but bone deep, seeping into marrow. The cat sits at the center of it all, calm, regal, tail curled. Its eyes never leave yours. The message is clear. This is not its fight. This is yours. The chair splits with a final groan, fabric ripping wide. From within crawls a mass of pale limbs, too many elbows and knees, all slick with black ooze. They reach, stretch, grab the floor, pulling something huge up from beneath. You stumble back, lamp shaking wildly. Flame flares high, shadows stretch long, bending into monstrous silhouettes that mock your every move. The duct-taped blanket finally tears loose, tape snapping like sinew. Behind it is not wall, not stone, just another pulsing surface, black and red, bulging with faces pressing against it from the inside, their mouths open, whispering in unison, "Stay, stay, stay." You scream at them, voice cracking, "I don't belong here." The echo returns, warped, here, here, here. The soil patch below shifts violently. The ground heaves, bulges upward, then splits. A hand thrusts through, small, childlike, fingers clawing dirt. Clara's voice, faint, muffled, calls, "I'm still here." Another hand joins it, larger, familiar. Michael's voice, "We need you." Your chest caves. You collapse to your knees, lamp nearly tipping. You fight to hold it upright, though your arms shake. Shadows lunge, stretch, embrace you like family too eager to welcome you home. The cat yawns, just yawns. Its golden eyes glimmer, calm, merciless. The ceiling face lowers further, mouth wide, teeth forming now your teeth, but sharper. Its whisper slides into your ear. "You've always been one of us." Your skin tingles, arms prickling as black veins bloom beneath. You claw at them, screaming, but the stains spread faster. The slime from the ceiling merges with the stains, fusing into your flesh. A memory hits Pompeii again. Frozen figures in ash, preserved mid-breath. You wonder if that's your fate, not to die, but to be preserved here, swallowed into the bunker's living walls. Historians still debate whether those victims suffered seconds or eternity. You feel eternity stretching before you now, lamp sputters, oil running out. Flame shrinks, shadows surge, laughter echoes from the ducts. The faces on the wall press closer, mouths stretching wide. The soil bursts open, arms reaching for your legs. The cat stands. It pads slowly toward you, tail high, eyes gleaming. It rubs against your side, purr deep, vibrating like the bunker's own heartbeat. For a moment, comfort. Then its eyes narrow, and it steps away, curling back into the vent. Gone. The ceiling face lowers completely now, merging with you. Its slime drips into your mouth, your eyes, your skin. You gag, scream, choke, but the sound is swallowed. Your vision flickers. Black veins crawl across your sight. The bunker breathes heavy, slow, final, and then you realize you are no longer separate. You are the drip, the slime, the face in the ceiling, the whisper in the vents, the dent in the chair, the shadow that lingers too long. The bunker doesn't hold you. The bunker is you. And the drip never stops. Word count 1086. Wind down 300 words. The flame is gone now. The lamp cold, the air thick. But you don't need the light anymore, do you? You've become part of the dark. Slow down. Don't rush. Let the bunker breathe with you, through you. Feel the walls press close, gentle as an embrace. Every sound is softer now, the drip, the hum, the faint whisper of unseen mouths. They're not frightening anymore. They're family. You are safe here, safe beneath the earth, away from the sky, away from the sun. Safe where nothing can change. Close your eyes. The chair won't creak anymore, it's already full. The soil won't heave anymore, it's already settled. The blanket corner won't stir anymore, it's already torn. Every piece has found its place, and so have you. Breathe. The air may taste of rust and mold, but it belongs to you now. Every inhale, every exhale echoes through the ducts. They will always hear you. They will always answer. The cat, don't worry. It comes and goes. It always does. You'll see its golden eyes again when the room is darkest, when silence stretches too long. It will blink once slowly, a reminder that you are never alone. So rest, drift. Let the drip mark the seconds, the minutes, the centuries. Let the shadows cradle you. Let your reflections smile even when you cannot. You are safe. You are home. And when you wake, the drip will still be there, patient as ever, waiting for you. End of script. Sweet dreams. End of script. Sweet dreams.